Alright, here's my first video of fall 2016 food plot. We tilled out 1/4 of an acre just above what is now my clover patch or field, whatever you want to call it, or my weed field. And walking up that hill is tough. So we got clover, fall. I'm probably going to plant the Whitetail Institute winter peas mix here. And we should have good results. So we tilled this twice. Not too much weeds in this one, thank God. I'm probably going to till it again in probably about 2 weeks, 3 weeks after I put the fertilizer in. Last year I planted my fall food plot in the middle of July, and I think I might have put it in too early, because by the time hunting season came, it started to brown, and most of it was gone. You know, they didn't even wait for a frost. They ate it. They ate it right up. So I have this one here, which is 1/4 acre. Then there's another one back on the outside of these trees behind, actually behind the house. So over here we're gonna go winter peas. Over there I'm gonna go pure attraction. That's what we planted last year, and we have really good results. So what happens usually is the deer usually come out in the evening from in here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I think actually probably between those two trees right in there. And even when I didn't have the food plots, they would come and they would feed along the edge right here. So I says, let's keep the food plot close to the edge like that. They don't feel like they have to come across the whole field, which is about 110 yards. They could just stay right along the edge there. So I figured give them the best of both worlds. They have the annual, which if I decide to keep it, it'll stay clover. And they're going to have this, which is nice, nestled right in the back. It's probably about 50 yards by maybe 70 yards or something like that. We could definitely use it during the gun season. As you can see, that's my dad's stand. And I'm going to be putting a tree stand right over there, because when they come out from over there, when they come up this way, they always stay right along here somewhere. For some reason, they're always right in that area. So I'm going to put a tree stand right over there, and another one right over there, because deer come out from that area, and they also come out from back in here. Way back in there, about 100 yards or so, is real thick, high brush, which I'm pretty sure they're bedding in. And they work their way right down the edge of the woods and come out right in there. So they come out there, the wind usually blows, you know, facing this direction. I'm probably going to put a tree stand right in here somewhere. You know, I need to get a good tree, but I definitely want to keep it towards the corner. And that's this one. I'll take you over to my other fall food plot, which is going to be back on the other side. And of course we have the apple trees that we try to maintain, give them as much as we can, as much love and attention as we can. And the 20 that we planted about 6 years ago. We had a late frost, so that means no apples this year, because they went to bloom. We got a frost, and you could say goodbye to your apples. That's one of the reasons why we started doing these food plots, was because you can't always depend on the apples. But you know what? Once the apples survive, and these start making apples, between these and the ones that have been here for hundreds of years, you know, there's deer here throughout the day. That apple tree alone is where I based most of my bow hunting off of. And I bow hunt most of the time right back in there. And I've shot plenty of deer eating apples over there before I started recording. So let me take you to the other side, and I'll show you my my other fall food plot. Here we are in the other fall food plot. This is right at the edge of my property and my neighbor's property, as you might be able to see his house back there. So this is another field that we have. This field is roughly 100 acres, I wish. 100 yards by probably 95 yards. This is a quarter-acre plot, which is almost the whole length of it. It's probably 60 yards by maybe 20 yards. Good size for where we are, where we're going to be hunting at least. So I'll tell you in a minute why I chose this spot. Right here we're going to be going with the same thing I planted last year. The Pure Attraction last year was phenomenal. I mean, we put it in, you know, we did the fertilizing and the lime and all that stuff. We put it in, and you know, the first week or two was kind of, what the hell's going on? How come it's not growing? We hit it with the fertilizer, the recommended fertilizer, after it was about 4 inches. I think it was a shot of pretty much pure nitrogen, and it just skyrocketed. Check out the other video. You know, check the updates from my last year's video, 2015 fall food plots, and we're gonna go with that. The reason why I'm going with that is because it has the turnips, the turnip top section of it, and the oats. It says it has peas in it, but I didn't see one pea in it, which it's okay. I mean, it would have been nice to see one at least, but there was none. So you plant that. They usually start eating the tops of the brassica, which is the top part of the turnip. They'll start chewing on that, and as they're doing that, the oats, you could see the oats, they almost look like long blades of grass, you know, real skinny. They start forming the little, I don't know if I'm using the right term, the heads on it. And once they sprouted, every time I saw deer in there, they were eating the oats. You see them, you know, the oats grow probably 3 feet high, and they're a little higher than the brassicas, and you see one deer just going from one to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So they must really like it. So that's what I'm going with here. I'll show you why. Now, there's my truck. I got my house right there where I go hunting. I got my garden, my dad's garden, I should say. And all along the garden, when the birds crap, they crap the apple seeds. So in the future, this is probably all going to be lined with apple trees. We already have, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 on 4 or 5 along the edge. And take a walk through here. This is the plot. I turned it over again. Same thing with the other plot. This has been tilled already twice. So this for some reason, I'm not complaining about it. This section of the property doesn't grow too much weeds. So I'm pretty happy with that. So this is going to be a fall food plot. And I never see deer over here really, so I figure it's pretty, not wasted land, but it's a good spot for one. You know, if I want to hunt and I don't feel like walking all the way down, I could, you know, 100 yards be in a tree stand. And I'll tell you why. This is also my property back in the woods here. Had this property for about 12 years now. It's been good to us. We shot plenty of game off it. Deer, bear, rabbit. We've seen turkey. So this is what I was talking about before with the bedding area. I have shorts on, I don't want to go too deep. So the deer, this is about 100 yards of woods like this. We have a creek that runs all the way through, from there all the way right to the outside of the field where I have both food plots, and runs downhill. And back in there, it's kind of hard to see, is the bedding area. And usually what I've seen the deer do is in the morning they'll cruise the edge of the bedding area in the woods, and they'll either come out down there where my fall food plot is going to be in the other field, or they'll come and walk onto my neighbor's lawn. So every time they walk to the lawn of this guy, what they do is he's got 3 or 4 nice size apple trees on his property. And I'll show you those. I'll show you right now. So they'll walk out into his lawn here, and he keeps it beautiful lawns, and the deer love that. And they'll feed on the apple trees. So, see all those apple trees back there? I don't want to film the guy's house. They'll film the apple trees, and it just so happens that he has one about 10 yards from the property line. So what I'm hoping to do is have the deer, entice them to at least come during the morning. If they're on his property and there's no apples, which there aren't any this year, have them come wander over here and have a turnip or two. Hey, get it, turnip or two. That's the game plan. We also have an apple tree right over there that's hanging over. We have another one right there. And again, the wind blows during the hunting season this way. It's actually blowing this direction now, in that direction. So, I mean, it's hard to say which way they're going to be coming out from. Ideally, you would want it on this side of the plot. Like that, they can come out anywhere on this side and not wind you. But unfortunately, this isn't fucking TV, and we have to deal with what we got. So I'm probably going to end up putting it in this tree right there. And that'll be that. And I'll hunt over the food plot. That's it. Here's the garden. Plenty of sunflowers this year. The birds love it. The finches love it. The rabbits love it. And that's the game plan for 2016, guys. I promise I'll have more videos, and that'll be that. I'm going to do a review right now of a bag that I just purchased. And, you know, keep my fingers crossed that clover plot turns out decent. And I'm pretty confident that these fall food plots will be good. So, let's see.